Welcome back, folks. Homeland Security. A new report from the Department of Homeland Security reports a 101% increase of unaccompanied minors crossing into the U.S. and a 154% increase of family units through the Texas border illegally in the past year. The U.S. Border Patrol says they've caught more than 300,000 people trying to cross illegally nationwide, and that's the ones they've apprehended. This does not include the student visas, marriage visas, and the myriad of persons allowed legally through our porous visa program. Didn't even mention the fiancé program, which allowed the San Bernardino killer into the country. Maury, if we continue on this path, there's no nation that can survive this. You're talking hundreds of thousands of invaders, and maybe people are offended that I say that, but that's what I'm saying. Invaders into the United States every year.
First of all, it's one thing on the Mexican border. I'm with you on it. I think there is illegal entry into the United States should not be permitted. Period. It's a crime, and should be treated as a crime.
And then once they get here, we're looked at as we're the ones that have the problem, and not the ones that broke the law.
Yeah, but that's because that's the people in charge of making us think this way. And then the idea of bringing these Syrians into this country, I find objectionable, and you know what? It's like committing suicide. It's like you deliberately want to commit suicide. You don't know who these people are. They can all. If I was in charge of the fifth column development in the Middle East, I would send these guys along by the thousands. And Germany, Merkel is objectionable, to say the least, to think of bringing 800,000 Syrians into Germany. You know, I guess deep in my heart, I'm still a German.
And have you seen the pictures and the stories of what these people are leaving behind and how they're treating their new welcome mat by leaving garbage and trash and basically trying to overtake the country?
You know what's happening now? It's just happened in the last couple of weeks. There's an
ultra right-wing conservative movement that's growing fast.
Yes, I
smile. You didn't need to know that from any of the news reports to know that was going to happen.
And there was a party that sort of went by the wayside when the Christian Democrats and Helmut Kohl was a great chancellor, took over. He was the father of the European economy. And the NPD, the National Party of Deutschland, Germany, went by the wayside. Now I understand that the people are flocking to the NPD. It's neo-Nazi in a way. It's not. They don't have any more Jews to kill, so I don't know what they're going to do for a pastime. But the point is, the Germans who are left there aren't going to put up with this forever. I mean,
and look at Le Pen. I mean, there is a conservative movement
Marine Le
across
Pen
Europe.
is a very competent person. She didn't do too well in the election, but she's getting stronger and stronger. And you're right, the desperation of the European countries who see these people.
Every one of these countries is looking for a Trump-esque person. Every single one of them, because they're being led to slaughter by their leaders. The West is basically committing suicide, like you said.
Yeah, they are committing. First of all, they lost the discipline. The only country in Europe that still is a highly developed country is Germany. And it's kind of ironic, isn't it? The two countries that were decimated in the Second War were Japan and Germany, and they are among the 5 top leading economies in the world today because of the disciplined nature of the people. And now they're forcing this rabble on top of them who will destroy those countries because that's just their nature. And it's not, they're not suddenly becoming evil people. That's just the way they live.
And the Czech Prime Minister has come out and said what everybody else is already thinking and knows, this is an organized invasion. These aren't just migrants that were coming out from the woodwork.
You surprised me by that because I never thought of the Czech as being that outspoken.
All of Europe is becoming outspoken because of this invasion. And that's what I'm calling it, an invasion.
It is an invasion. Well, it's worse than an invasion. Invasion is when the enemy comes and fights against you and you can defend yourself. It's when this is a destruction by the leaders who are bringing in this rabble to undermine the country as if they were deliberately trying to destroy the country.
You would almost think so if you were an
Yes, you
outsider
would.
looking down
What
on this.
What other, I'm
What
sure
benefit could it make? Now, we've had past shows where you have said to me that Merkel was trying to bring in workers to fill some of their
No,
voids.
that wasn't Merkel. That was right after the war, because 5 million Germans were killed on the front.
But no,
So-
we were talking about this recent.
Oh, the recent, okay.
The recent migrant.
Yeah,
movement.
I think that's, yes, I did. You're right. I mean, when she...
But they're not going to go to work at the factories and build the Volkswagen. I mean, these people are going to come in, demand welfare, and I know that's probably a very general
you're right.
statement.
I'd say that in the context of an aging population and not enough people to fill the factory jobs. But you're right; those people aren't going to do it because they're not being taken in for that purpose. And you know what they've done? You know there are no Christians that are coming into
Right.
Europe.
Yeah.
Because the ones that try to get out, they threw them overboard.
And they're not letting Christians, Syrians into here either. All of
No, did you hear what I said?
yes.
They threw them overboard
Yes.
on the ships that they had.
Yes.
They're treating the Muslims are treating the Christians in these countries that they're leaving like the Germans did the Jews.
We need to take a short pause. Our political insider and moment in history are straight ahead. Again, if you missed any segments, just go to YouTube and search Moritz Beschloss, or just go to our website, The World Report.